We did the damn thing. Yes, sir. These are out of an M4. Black leather BMW M4 seats. These are actually in better condition than my current M2 seats. And plus they just look freaking 10 times better, dude. You got a bunch of junk on them. I gotta clean them up. They're pretty filthy. Honestly, they just needed a good thorough wipe down and quick vacuum. All the electronics are included with these. And then I'm going to be using the stock rails from the M2 seats. I think that this is a direct plug and play. It might take some coating. I'm not 100% positive. There's actually only one other person that I know of that has done this retrofit, and they actually didn't do it. They took it to BMW to have them do it. But from what I understand, he did say that it was direct plug and play. The only thing that he didn't do is the illuminated M badge. So Brian over at Keys Motorsports is actually sourcing me the M2 competition badge, which just says M2, and it lights up. So the idea that I had is I'm basically going to be putting in, retrofitting that illuminated M2 badge into these. Now I don't have those yet, but I do want to get the seats in the car. So we're just going to go ahead and install the seats. Hopefully it works out. Also, you guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. You didn't think that I was gonna forget to wish you a good morning, did you? I don't know where you think you are, but on this channel, we always say good morning. So yeah, you guys, this one, I am super stoked about this one. Like, I've wanted new seats for this car for a long time. Anyone who's been watching the channel since I got the M2, that was like my #1 complaint were the seats. And these are absolutely perfect. They're not like the ideal spec of what I would have gotten. I would have gotten the M2 competition seats, but to get the M2 competition seats, you are spending at least $5 grand on a used set if you can find them. They're super rare. New from BMW is just out of the question. It would be like 10 grand. You would actually have to like source all the parts and put them together. Probably more than 10 grand to be honest with you, because BMW doesn't actually sell the seats. So you'd actually have to go out and like find the different parts. But I figure since this car is a coupe, M4 is a coupe, this is probably the best OEM option that you can get for this car, is finding a used set of M4 seats. So let's talk about how I found these. I have been looking for seats online for months. I have been searching eBay, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, just Instagram, whoever's selling, parting out cars. I've been looking at salvaged cars, salvaged M4s. You are likely going to spend like $2,000 to $5,000, depending on the seats, the conditions. If it comes out of a salvage car, the chances of the seats being in good condition are like slim to none, very rare. It's hard to find these seats in good condition out of a salvaged vehicle. The car that I bought these out of is not a salvaged vehicle. The owner was just upgrading to some Recaro. Now Recaros were also an option, but you're gonna spend $1,500 on one seat alone if you go after a set of Recaros. So either way, seats are just expensive. That's just how it is. They're just really expensive. I got extremely lucky with these. My good friend Eldridge, you guys have seen him on the channel, Eldridge Cortez. Eldridge actually just got M4 seats for his car, and I was asking him like, where did you find them, dude? Like, I've been looking everywhere. He actually told me about these, and they were on Facebook Marketplace. Just so happened they were in Georgia, which isn't too far from Charlotte. It's like 3.5, 4 hour drive. So I figured I would just work out a price with the owner, buy them, and then go pick them up. Well, it turns out the owner was coming to Charlotte anyways, so I got these delivered for free, which is the hardest part about buying seats. Is if you buy them online, they're so expensive to ship. Everyone who is selling them used, you're gonna be spending a ton of money just to get them shipped to you because they're so big and they weigh a lot. So I was able to get these used M4 seats for $1,500 delivered to my house, which is an absolute bargain. I thought for sure I'd be spending at least $3,000 on some seats, and I almost bought seats out of an M2 competition for like $4,500. They're just expensive, that's just the way it is. But dude, to say that I am stoked is a massive understatement. Like, I am so hyped for these seats, bro. So hyped. And they're gonna clean up so well. Once I put some good leather conditioning on them, I actually kind of like that they're a little bit dirty because I get to see this like transformation of them. As far as the wear, dude, it's not that bad at all. These are perfectly fine. I could go above and beyond and we could dye the stitching to match the blue that's in the car if I wanted to. Some people are like freaks about having matching stitching and all that. I really don't give a shit, to be honest with you, but it would look a little bit nicer. This thing, I mean, it's dirty as shit, but this thing is going to clean up really well. I'm telling you right now, once I get my mittens on this, bruh, this thing's gonna clean up so well. So we're gonna give them a good cleaning. So this is really common on these stock badges. They crack. You can see the cracking around here. Super, super common. There was a recall through BMW with that, and they actually ended up replacing them with just new ones because all of these eventually just crack. So what I am doing, and these are not the illuminated ones, I am actually going to be retrofitting the M2 competition illuminated ones. So we're gonna have to wire them up and everything. They just say M2 and then they illuminate, so they light up, which is dope. Let's just look at the stock seats so I can show you guys the difference. That's like literally my only complaint with this car, is that you buy an M car and you get these seats that are literally F30 seats. I mean, these are just baseline F30 seats. There's nothing special about these seats at all. So the M4 seats are obviously much more sporty. They just look 10 times better, and I think that they cup you a little bit differently than these. The M4 seats also sit a little bit lower from what I understand. So you feel a little bit lower in the car, which for someone like me is great because I'm just so tall. I really do prefer sitting a little bit lower in my cars. And yeah, so it being an M4 seat, it has the same pullback button right here, or latch or lever or whatever. It's got the adjustment. I mean, it came out of a coupe, so it should fit right into this coupe without an issue. I mean, there's nothing like wrong with them, but the fact that this is an M car and it came with these seats is just one thing that I'll never understand. I think the reason that BMW did that is to have incentive for people to buy the M2 competition, because the M2 competition obviously has the nicer seats. So as far as plan of attack, I'm going to pull the M2 out of the garage. I'm gonna bring the seats in, and we're just gonna clean them up right here so we have a nice lit area. I'll show you guys obviously what I use and the before and after, and then we will go ahead and install them in the car. I forgot to mention I'm also doing the carbon seat backs. So Keys is gonna do the carbon seat backs for me, and then we'll also have the illuminated M2 badge. These are going to be sick. This is like interior goals for me right now, so I'm really soaking it up because I've wanted these seats for so long. And I literally just like had the money sitting aside, just waiting, just ready to just pounce on the right deal. And I got so lucky, dude, so lucky. I'm gonna use this McGuire stuff first, just because I've had this, and it works pretty well. I also have this stuff from Ethos that works pretty well. I don't know, we'll try this one first, see if we like it. If not, we'll use this one. Dude, look at how freaking clean. I mean, they look brand new, bro, especially from the back. Crazy. Look at how good these cleaned up. Jeez, man. You can tell the difference. Look at how much deeper that is compared to this one. That's wild to see the difference. That McGuire's product really works. This is my first time like actually putting it to the test. I just soaked that thing. It really brought it back to life. All right, I'm gonna hit this one now. Literally spent like an hour just doing all that. But hey, look, I mean, man, they cleaned up really good. I've never like actually put a leather conditioner or like interior detailer to the test, and it worked. It really worked. It should be relatively easy. I think it's just 4 bolts and it comes right out. And then we'll have to take the rails off of the M2 seats, put those on the M4 seats. Hopefully they fit, because he wanted to keep his rails. So I think we're gonna be okay that the M2 rails will just bolt right up to the M4 seats. I think they will. And then also we're going to weigh them. So from what I understand, the M4 seats are actually heavier than the M2 seats. By how much, I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and rip the seats out of here. The other thing that I'm super stoked about is that I get to clean, my OCD gets to kick in, and I really get to clean the inside of the M2. It's actually a T50. I screwed up. I thought it was a T45. It's a T50. Here's what we're dealing with. It's a latch system, so this should, you just press this guy in and unlatch it. It should come out just like that. We should just be able to transfer these rails over to the M4 seats, drop it in, and then hopefully it all just plugs right in. Gonna get the vacuum out here. Ugh, dude, we got a stain. I'm gonna try and get that out too. Maybe use some Sonax on it. So just looking at, here's the stock seat. We gotta transfer the rails. It looks pretty easy. Basically this whole plastic piece needs to come out. So you have, it looks like a Torx right there, and then you have like a normal bolt. T40, that guy right there is a T40. Got one up here, over here, down there, so you got 4 total, obviously. This all comes along with it. As you can see, my M4 seats, this part is just kind of dangling. And then you have that random brown plug right there. That goes into the actual seat. This is all going to be transferred over to that. So these ones are 13 mil, and that came right off. All right, so I think I figured out what I have to do. Pretty sure we're gonna use this 19 and go from the back. On the other side, there's a 19. And the way that you have to do it is I actually have to plug this back in and like maneuver it all awkward so I can get to the other one. The other one you can't even get to. But if you move this all the way down, I should be able to get to it. So apparently that's the way you do it. All right, just to show you guys what you have to do. It's probably wise to know this before you start doing this, or even taking out the stuff. If you have to swap the rails, that is. You want to lift the seat while it's plugged in all the way up. And you can see that those are now exposed down there. So probably just a good rule of thumb to just lift the seat all the way up. Plug it back in, lift it all the way up, unplug it, take it back to the garage. We should be able to access those bolts now. And hopefully we're good. All right, so that's the way to do it, man. You gotta have access to it. You basically lift the whole seat up, and then you can get in there with the 19 and undo these. So you got one on each side. Bam, that's it, dude. The whole thing comes out. So this was super easy to take out from here. You just press these 2 little yellow tabs together and it slides out. This plug right here is super easy. Just press that down and pull out. Now, what I'm realizing is our seat belt cable and connector that all goes in here, we're gonna need that because this seat does not have that. So I believe we just cut these little zip ties and we should be able to take out this whole piece. Looks like I need the whole thing. So this is all gonna be transferred over as well. All right, got it out. It's literally just one plug, slides right out, and we should be able to put that into the new connector. We'll be all right. Ta-da! Cool heads will prevail, dude. I was a little bit nervous. When I first lined it up, it wasn't the right length, and I realized you can actually just move these arms in here yourself. But dude, we're good. I figured it out. And now we know for sure you can run the M2 rails on the M4 seats. They bolt right up, everything plugs right in, and now it should bolt right into the car. The only thing that we don't know about right now is the coding side of things. Are the electronics gonna function the same? Are we gonna get an error thrown? Stay tuned on this episode of Thick F30 to find out. How convenient is that? I'm gonna use some Sonax on that and a applicator block. I think we can get that out. The rest is simple. We'll just vacuum it. It's actually not that dirty. Dude, so nasty. Probably like coffee. That was impressive. That Sonax stuff is amazing. If you guys don't have that for like Alcantara and whatnot and suede, it works. It works so well. Get some, link down below. All right, put the seat in, plug her in, we should be good. So we got it in there. Just moving things around. Electronics all work. Everything works. So that's good. It's not showing me any issues there. You can see everything works fine. So we got to get these bolts in and then kind of situate it into a place that makes sense, and we should be all right. Look at how much better they look, dude. They just look like they belong in this car. Everything works. Everything works perfectly. Lumbar, all of the functions work just fine. So it is plug and play, my friends. I'm so hyped. All right, now we got to do that one. Also, you guys forgot to remind me to weigh the seat. I don't know what you were thinking. I left you guys with one job. You literally just had to remind me to weigh the seat, and you forgot. So old one, new one, and we'll do the math, find out how much heavier the M4 seats are from the stock M2 seats. And I believe the F30 seats would weigh the same because they're like the exact same seat. So 180 with the stock seat, 228. M4 seat, dude, 229. So 1 pound heavier. If you ever wondered how much heavier the M4 seats are than the stock M2 seats, 1 pound. Bro, this Sonax is just mind-blowing. It works so well. I mean, it looks so good in here, and I had coffee spills all over. Even on my mat. I used it on my floor mats too. That stuff does amazingly well. You guys ready for this? So I used a little bit of this stuff in addition to the Meguiar's. The Meguiar's is nice, but it's more of like a matte, like a OEM finish. This is a little bit shinier. So if you want like some shine to it, use this Ethos stuff. BMW, take note. This is how it should have came from the factory. Just imagine with the M2 lighting up when I get those in, and then the carbon seat backs, I'll run those. Sheesh. I'll be damned. The steering wheel was a massive change to the interior, but the seats, they're gonna be right up there with the steering wheel, if not even more important, because you're sitting in them every time you drive, dude. But it's good to know that everything functions, everything works. The only thing we don't know is when we turn on the car, are we gonna get any malfunctions or any like weird errors? I think my favorite part is seeing them through the windshield with like the whole car. It looks so dope. It's hard to see on camera, but you can see it in person. They look so sick, dude. These are just perfect for this car. Dude, just look at how good, like with the whole interior. Oh my God, dude. Game changer. Before we go anywhere, God, they look so good. These feel, the way that they feel is 10 times better. Much more sporty. They like cup you a lot better. And you can adjust the lumbar and everything, obviously. You know, the sides to like cup you in a little bit tighter if you want. Everything is adjustable with them and everything works perfectly fine. Heat, all that stuff, it all works. They feel so much better than the factory seats that come in this car. So much better. This car should have came like this from factory. No question about it. So, I'll show you guys. We turn the car on, and we're gonna get a couple of errors that pop up. There's one of them. Passenger restraint, and then we'll get a driver's restraint as well. There it is. So you can still drive the car. Like, the car is completely fine. Everything still functions and you can still drive the car like this. You just have to get these seats coded to your car. So I talked to my friend Noor and he said that he actually has a guy who can just code these to my car really easily. So I think I'm going to do that. I think that dude is just gonna code them in. So this won't be an issue, but you guys do need to know that if you're putting these seats in your car and you're changing out the airbags that come in the seats, you're gonna have to code these into your car. Dude, they look so sick. The way that these feel, oh my God, dude. It's unbelievable how much better they feel. And like, they sit a little bit lower, like you can drop them a little bit further down. They just feel so like sporty. I love them. So I haven't driven the car with them yet, and I'm literally gonna do that right now with you guys. Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm really hyped. This was like a full-on win for me. This, like, the pricing, the delivery, the way they fit, like a bolt up, the plug and play for the most part. There were just a lot of questions when I was doing this because no one has really done it in an M2, so I wasn't really sure. I mean, people have done it. They haven't documented it, and they didn't talk about the actual process of them doing it. From what I understand, the guy who did it had a dealership do it, so there was a lot of questions going into it, and I didn't know if it was gonna work, and I didn't know if things were gonna bolt up, but dude, it did, and it was actually super seamless and easy to do. And I'm just so hyped, bro. I'm so hyped, and they're in such good condition. Like, oh man, I lucked out. So we're definitely gonna replace the badges with the light up M2 ones, and then I'll get the carbon seat backs and show you guys all that stuff. I'm trying to see if they have an option for the carbon seat backs that are like a dry carbon, so it matches my interior. If not, we'll just end up doing the glossy carbon and say fuck it. I guess all there is to do is just go for a drive. I'm gonna have the GoPro up there, and we'll just go for a little cruise, and I'll tell you guys what I think. Dude, these feel so good. These feel so good. Everything works, man. Like, just blown away. I'm just blown away how well this worked out. These feel like, you feel like you're cocooned in these seats. They're so much better than the stock ones. Like, so much better. Yeah, man. These are awesome, dude. Oh, man. I'm so hyped right now. 1,500 bucks. Got me some used seats, some used M4 seats that are in my opinion, really good condition. I think I'm gonna go for an Alcantara armrest to kind of match the steering wheel and the shift boot and everything. So some people probably won't like that it has white stitching on here. That doesn't really bother me at all. Like, I'm not like super matchy with all this stuff. Like, I really don't care about that. Some people, it'll bother you, but it all depends on what you can find, you know? I don't even know what else to say, bro. I'm just so amped up. These look so good. There's like, that whole thing just worked out so well. Crack the window a little bit, you know? Oh, damn, dude. My God, that is just epic. There you go. Got it done. I'm so hyped. They feel and they look so good. So good. Oh man. Sourcing the seats nearby to you is going to be the most difficult task that comes along with this whole thing. The shipping, if you find used ones, it's just so expensive. So if you can find them local, that's like a huge win. I even saw on eBay, like, they were selling salvaged ones for $3,000. So you can expect to pay anywhere between $1,500 and $5,000, depending on the condition, depending on the seats, depending on what you're going with. But at least you guys know when it comes to retrofitting the M4 seats, I'm sure it's the same with the F80 M3 seats. It's just plug and play. It's bolt it right in, and then you just have to have it coded to the car. It's really, really easy. If your seats come with the factory rails, you can probably just put the seat right in. I had to take the rails off the M2 seats and put them on these ones. Wasn't too difficult, but it was an added step in that process. Overall, I'm elated. I'm so happy about how easy this was, the condition of the seats, just everything about the process it just worked out. Today was just a huge W, and it always feels good when you're working on your car and you succeed. It just always feels good. So glad that this whole process worked out. I was a little bit worried about it. There was a lot of questions, but hopefully this helps some people out there who are interested in doing something like this. The reason I went for the M4 seats, obviously, because this is a coupe, and I want to be able to use that lever where I can just push the seat back and forward without having to actually use all the electronics to like move the seat and all that adjustability. That's why you wouldn't want to get one out of like a sedan, because they don't have that lever. The M4 being a coupe and this one being a coupe, it just made sense. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate you more than you know. Please do subscribe, comment down below, like this video, hit that bell notification. And just like that, this video is over and we're out. Peace.